What's up, everybody? He's Kadir. I am Diego, and we are talking
Hello,
about the World Cup. This is Golden Goal. Wow, today's an
dude.
awesome day.
Dude,
I'm
it's been an awesome couple of days, I would say.
yes.
It's been
I'm not
great.
gonna. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, bro.
Hey, listen, I know you're proud. I know you're excited, and I will say that I bow down to Bo because
To both.
he
Yes.
showed up. He showed up. I have
Amazing.
absolutely nothing to say because he literally said, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna put my team on my shoulder, and I'm gonna carry us through. Congratulations, well done."
Can't wait to talk about that one. But first, we're gonna get started with some France and some Paraguay. A la Paraguaya. Talk about a la Paraguaya. This game
Du-
was
Dude,
a la Paraguaya. For all of you who don't speak Spanish, a la Paraguaya means the Paraguayan style of football that Paraguay is used to giving the world.
I have to say, I don't know if you agree with this, but La Paraguayan way, to me, showcased and displayed a little bit of weakness on the French side. They seemed unbeatable, unvulnerable, unpenetrable to me up until that game. Now, I feel like you could do some damage.
I still don't think they can do some damage because the Paraguayans still didn't work and they were dirty. They had those like little jabs on the side and the little
Sure,
talking. And at the end of the
sure.
day, we can't
They
say it worked.
it
Beat
didn't it
France.
didn't work, but it showed some cracks. It showed some cracks. It showed that the French aren't unbeatable, in my opinion. Like if you take the Paraguayan way, and if you take, I don't think France is made to go up against a non-European team. I feel like they can walk all over any sort of European team, but when you throw them a curveball and when you throw the shit talking and the elbows and the pulling and the disorganization in the back, like Paraguayan play at them, they don't really know how to act. Now, if you combine that with a little bit of a good attack, a little bit of physicality, now we're talking. Now we're talking. So I don't think they're unbeatable anymore.
Guys, I'm going to translate what Kadir just said because I speak Kadir. What Kadir is pretty much trying to say is Colombia can beat France. That's what he was trying to say in many words, right?
I would not disagree with that statement. I
That's
would
what you're
not
trying to say,
disagree with the
brother.
statement. Listen, Colombia has displayed great physicality.
Yeah,
They have displayed amazing control of tempo. They have
definitely.
they displayed everything that Paraguay showed yesterday, but with the ability to score some goals. Not a
Exactly.
lot, but they score.
Well, we are going to talk in depth about the Colombia game, but let's stick to the France and Paraguay game first.
Yes.
So tell me, you said you found some cracks in France. Tell me about them cracks.
I do. Look, France is a very well-oiled machine when they know what to expect from the opponent. What I think is, what I mean when I say crap is the unexpected, disorganized approach that Paraguay showed during their game. Like Paraguay is just kind of like a little bit of an all over the place team, a little bit of an all over the place. I'm going to defend as I best see it. I'm going to try and attack as I best see it, and we'll see what happens. Is kind of what I got from them. France didn't know what to do with that. They didn't know
See,
what to do with that.
okay, see, I see what you're saying about the defend a little bit. What attack? I'm going to attack a little bit. To me,
Listen,
the way that I see this, so
go ahead, go
sorry
ahead, go
just to
ahead.
interrupt, but the one
No,
thing
go
that I
ahead.
see is Paraguay from minute one. This is my imitation of Paraguay. Brrr, the game starts. It's like, hey, 90 minutes are up. Let's go to penalties. That was Paraguay. They were looking for penalties the minute the game started, already on the floor, already, hey, it's in the 90 minutes already. That's how Paraguay felt. No attack. They were clearly going to defend. But this is the thing. You may think that I am knocking their style. No, it almost worked. How can I knock
I
something that almost worked? They were the
listen.
closest ones. They were the only team in the World Cup to not allow France to score three times. Good for
Thank you.
them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I do think that it got to the point in the game where they were like, hey, let's take this to penalties. Yes. But I don't think it happened from the very beginning. I think Paraguay knew that France was going to have the ball. They were going to have the ideas. They were going to have the creativity. They were going to do the attack. And Paraguay was like, if we have an opportunity to counter, we will try our best to do so with the tools that we've got, which were not a lot. So, yes, they were not all over the place. They only had one or two opportunities. But what I'm saying is that they were trying when they had the chance, which a lot of other teams didn't even get a chance because
No.
France just wasn't letting them.
So you're thinking those cracks have to do with the more like unorganized style that tends to be more coming from our Latino countries. That's what you're
I
saying.
do. I do. I
Okay.
do think so. I do think so. I think France on that side of the bracket, which is, they're going to have Spain, they're going to have Portugal, they're going to have the US, they're going to have Belgium, they're going to have one of those. They are very used to what those teams can bring to the table. But once they cross the border and they get to this side of the bracket, where you're going to have either Argentina or Colombia, now we're talking. Now we're talking a different ballgame. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Look at the sky, everybody. Completely eliminating Norway and England out of the way. I love it. Okay.
100%.
I love it.
100%. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Any other notes with France?
I don't think so. I think they're still very much somebody to be very afraid of and careful with. But I no longer think they are unbeatable. I did think so up until the Paraguay game. I no longer think so.
What are your thoughts about the non-soccer issues? The fact that the it was said that the Paraguayans were trying to instigate Mbappe, and Mbappe himself was acting a little arrogant. What are your thoughts about that?
Listen, I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought Mbappe handled himself very well throughout the game. He was all smiles. He was all like, whether they were genuine or not, he did not retaliate during the game. It wasn't until the very end of the game when the final whistle blowed that he kind of showed and let everything go. And he was just like, yeah, and he became a little bit arrogant. But I thought throughout the game, I got to give it to him. He wasn't an asshole, and I'll give him props.
When I saw him yell, yeah, he wasn't yelling at the goalie, at the Paraguayan goalie, but pretty much close to him. It felt like that saying in Spanish, and please translate it for me. Um, Yo no soy el de tirar indirectas, pero hay algunos que, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
how would you translate that?
I mean, I don't know. I think you're saying he was not displaying it directly to the goalie, but he meant it towards the goalie of the
Totally,
Paraguayan team.
totally.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
But
totally.
at the same time, he had to put up with the whole team kicking him, pulling his jersey, talking some smack throughout the game. Like all of those times when Paraguay tried to do some shit to instigate a reaction, he didn't react. He waited until the end of the game, and to me, that shows maturity.
Before I give you a final thought on France, I want to just first out give you my final thoughts on Paraguay. What a hell of a cup after losing to the United States with such a big score difference to come back and beat Germany and to then take it all the way to the level to where they did, where they took France closer than any other team. My
Yeah,
respects to Paraguay.
yeah,
Obviously, I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if you're Paraguay where you take it from here. I don't know if this is a type of style that you can go further with. Develop. The only time that I saw it work was in the 2004, I believe, um, Euro Cup. Remember when Greece won?
Are you talking about are you talking about Paraguay? Paraguay didn't
No, I'm
play the
talking
Euro
about
Cup.
Greece, which was like an anti-soccer, just a team that just defended, and
Oh,
really
I
didn't do
see, I
anything.
see, I see. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yes, yes, yes. I do think they need to go through some sort of like drastic transition to where they sort of play a little bit of catch up with the way football gets played today. I don't think the way they played it 20 years ago when they were efficient works anymore.
Right. So I think that I don't know how much you can build from this because playing Paraguayan style anti-soccer can only take you so far.
True.
It's very difficult, almost impossible to win a full tournament against teams with the level that we see top of the game and worldwide to just play anti-football. That's
I
only
would
going to
agree.
get you that far.
I would agree.
But
I would
but you
agree with
do
that.
you use the tools that you have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're France, you just have this big obstacle called Paraguay, anti-football. What do you do to grow from that, to learn it and take it to the next stage of this tournament?
I don't think there is a specific way to deal with that. I think you have to understand that style of play, understand that if a team brings that to you, then you have to be patient. You have to keep trying the whole 90 minutes and you have to hope for the best. Because I don't think there is a formula to beat that style. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. I see it. So let's go to the next game. Morocco and
Let's do
Canada.
it. Tell me
Okay.
about him. Talk to me.
My respects to Canada. If anybody
Okay.
didn't watch the game and you see the score 3-0, you feel like Morocco just ran all over one of the hosts, and it's sad considering all the progress Canada has made and how great Canada has played throughout the tournament. Let's just be fair. However, this game was decided in the final little bit of the game
Yep.
with that first goal, and as soon as that happened, but you still saw Canada going for it. You even had the goalie play towards the end. Almost every play, it seemed like, um, to try to get ahead or try to get something, some kind of advantage to tie the game. And it was just decided in those final 5, 10 minutes.
I do think that was one of those games where Morocco sort of played up a notch from the games they have been playing. For me, they started to display a level that was just above not only Canada, but above what they had been showing up to that game.
Mm,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I was watching them and I was like, okay, you seem like a team that is finally starting to click. And when
Mm,
you get a Moroccan team that is finally starting to click, I don't think wherever Canada was going to be that day, yesterday, at whatever level, if you get a Moroccan team that's working, they're not going to get beat by Canada. They might get beat by somebody else, but not by Canada. So,
I get it. You know what I saw in Morocco? I saw maturity. I saw a team that was able to pick their spots. They were able to pick when to give Canada the ball and to kind of take it easy, when to attack. It
mhm.
it seemed very in control. It was a zero
Yes,
zero game towards the end, but it seemed very in control, even when Canada was attacking, because Canada had the ball a lot of the times and they had the chances, but Morocco seemed good. Seemed like no, 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 let's just wait.
they
And
were
Morocco
they were
is going to be
in control is a good way to put it.
yeah, and Morocco's going to be a hell of an opponent
I
to
think so too.
France.
I think so too. I think so too. I think they might be able to bring a little bit of that dirty, disorganized, um, unaware, sudden, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
out of nowhere moments to the French that they may deal with well, but they also may not. So it's gonna be a good game.
yeah. So I guess where does Canada go from here? I say they should have their head held up high. They played great. The final score 3-0 was not indicative of what really happened. I felt like
Right.
they did a great job in this tournament, and it can only help Canada grow, and maybe from then on they get more talented kids that come up based on their inspiration of this performance that they had in the World Cup, and just Canada continues to grow and continues to showcase great play and great players. Hopefully, that's what it's in the future for them.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Congratulations and kudos to Canada and all of our Canadian friends watching. You guys did great.
Yeah,
Thank you for
good job.
hosting. We'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And Morocco, how does Morocco then just prepare for France at this point?
Listen, if I'm being honest, I think Morocco has back in the Roman Empire days,
Whoa,
the, when
okay.
when 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 the Roman Empire was conquering everything. I think Morocco is one of those cities or towns that was waiting for the Roman Empire to come, and they were going to try and do their best. I do think they're going to do their best. I do think they have the tools to put up a battle, but at the end of the day, I think they will get conquered by the French.
Okay. So you know that Yamal could have played for Morocco and
I do.
other really famous players as well. Do you think still, even with all those added players, they would still be no match for France when it came down to it?
At this moment in time, with the way France has been playing, because they are coming up against another European team, I do think they're unbeatable.
Yeah, France looks that
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah,
It
I
does.
do
It
think
would be
I think Talk to me whenever they face a non-European team. But I think as long as
Okay.
the French are facing Europe, I think and we'll get there. We'll get there when they
So we're gonna get there
face
very quickly.
Spain.
The next game is against
Yeah,
Morocco. We're gonna get
yeah,
there
and
super
then
quick.
and then the game after that is going to be against Spain or Portugal. So
But
you're going to see.
another European, another European. Yeah,
You're going to see.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think at this point they're pretty unbeatable. So we'll see.
Okay, so do you want to go to the other bracket of the other Sweet 16
Well,
game, or you want to go
n-
back
n-
a little bit to talk about
no, I what?
Argentina's
No, dude,
the
no, no,
Colombians?
no. Let's wait. That hasn't happened yet. I want to get to your brain in that Norway Brazil game.
All
That's what I
right.
want to do. I want to get to the meat and potatoes of this
Yeah.
conversation
All right.
because I watched the game, but I know how much of a big fan you are of Erland, and I want your thoughts, your opinions, and your critiques about him and the whole Norwegian team.
Okay. So first of all, I have see I'm gonna actually wear it like this for this talk, and I'm gonna wear the other one here, and I have three. I have the
Okay.
Haaland here too.
Okay. Okay.
For this conversation, I'm gonna ask you a question. Last time I told you to watch a video for homework. Did you get a chance to watch the video where Haaland scores 9 goals in the sub 20 World Cup against Honduras?
I did not watch the video, but I have seen highlights of that video. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I have
You don't have
seen
to watch the
highlights
whole
of
thing,
that
but
video.
watch the highlights. Did you watch the highlights? Did you watch all the goals that the Haaland scored?
I've seen him sort of play like he is in high school, playing against the the water boys, the ones that bring the water to the teams, not the varsity, but the JV teams. Like that's what it looked like.
Okay. The reason I bring that up is because we're so used to seeing all these players that are meant to be great that don't pan out. We see it all the time, right? Remember Freddie Adu, the next
See,
Pele?
see,
We see it
see.
all the
I
time.
do.
For me, one of the biggest disappointments in soccer was Matias Fernandez. You know who Matias Fernandez is, my brother?
Matias, the name sounds
Matias
familiar.
Matias Fernandez plays
Refresh.
for Chile.
Yes.
He was picked as the 2006 Player of America over
Wow.
Kun Agüero, who played for
Wow.
Independiente. So Kun Agüero from Independiente went to, I believe, Atletico Madrid, and Matias Fernandez, who was the actual winner of the Captain of America, ended up going to what was that yellow? The yellow submarine, Villarreal.
Oh,
Okay,
Villarreal, claro. Sí, sí, sí.
he was the future of Chilean soccer. Right now would be our present, and he just didn't pan out. So
Mm,
going back to Haaland, why do I bring that up? Because we're so used to disappointment. We just are. We just put so much pressure on these kids when we see greatness. I remember when I first saw Yamal play, he wasn't even a starter yet.
right.
And I was very impressed by him. And I was hoping, you hope that these kids pan out. That's how I felt when I watched the game when I saw him score 9 goals on Honduras. And to see him follow his career to Dortmund and to do amazing in Dortmund and then go to City and do so good in City and now having his chance, his dream, because the only thing that was missing in his career was to be in the World Cup. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, we have seen amazing players who don't happen to have a good national team to back them up so that they can have a worthy performance in the World Cup. We've seen
yeah,
it with many players. George Weah, what an unbelievable talent.
dude. And even players that have made it, like you have Lewandowski, you have even Zlatan with Sweden. Like they made it to the World Cup, and they had teams, but they were not powerful, so they couldn't show their actual worth.
That's correct. You know how many goals Zlatan scored in the World Cup?
I don't
You and I scored the same amount of goals as Zlatan scored in the World Cup. How sad is
really,
that? How sad is that?
really.
Yep,
Holy shit! I did not know that.
exactly,
I thought he had at least
exactly.
a handful. Wow.
No, 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 no. So the reason I bring that up is because this was our first opportunity for the world to see this greatness. This is the biggest showcase in the world.
Yep.
Um, we're gonna get into the Argentina Capo Verde. What's the Capo Verde's goalie's name?
Bochinha.
Boshin.
Bochinha.
Amazing. Did you know that his Instagram account, how much it grew? Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that literally yesterday, and there's a video where it's showing the progression and the growth. And not only is it showing the progression, but it shows on the other side who he has. been passing, and it's all American athletes that are like I'm talking about like Serena Williams, Tom Brady, all of the bunch of basketball, baseball, NFL players, and Bushinia is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's well deserved. I love it. I hope that America's paying attention and they understand how much of an impact the World Cup can have on one single individual.
Yeah, yeah. Well said, brother. So he started out with 40,000. I am not sure of the final figure, but since you saw that, around how many followers does he have now?
When I saw the video yesterday, I think he had north of 17 million.
17. I think he has north of 20 right now.
Probably.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's insane. That's
So
insane.
that goes to show you the impact of the World Cup. The impact of the World Cup is ridiculous. People who are not normal soccer fans or football fans, who don't necessarily know all the players, now that's how you get to know them. Let's
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
let's be real. A lot of uh, players who end up doing great in the World Cup then don't pan out, and they get a lot of great contracts and salaries based on the performances in the World Cup. But going back to Haaland, I couldn't wait for the world to see what he was going to be able to do. I was nervous because Norway is an okay team. They've done so. This is definitely their best generation. But we've
Absolutely.
we've said it on the show many times. I don't know if they have what it takes to go so far.
I want to say something about Holland that is just like, and I was telling a couple of people today, the I love Norway. I love the team. I love what they have been doing. But what I do love about Holland the most is that he genuinely is enjoying his time at the World Cup, and he doesn't care. The kid does not care about winning the Golden Boot, Norway making it to the final, winning the World Cup, like all of the high pressure expectations that people want to put on him specifically. He's like, no. Like when they asked him about France in the group stage, and they were like, "What do you think about this next game?" And he was like, "We're already through. That's already more than we were expecting to. I don't care. They're probably gonna beat us because they're probably gonna win the whole thing. So I don't really care." I thought that was the best answer. And then Messi goes and scores his sixth and his seventh goal, and somebody posted, and they were like, "Hey, Erling, I don't think you're gonna win the Golden Boot because Messi keeps on scoring." And he responded, he was like, "No, you're probably right." So it's like it's amazing how much he's just like, listen, I'm here to have a good time and I want to do my best. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't happen, you're not gonna get to my head. And I love that about it. Love it.
Yeah, yeah, and it shows zero arrogance too. That's what I hear
Hmm.
from most people that talk to me about Haaland, who I wouldn't expect to be soccer fans who would know him. One of my favorite things about this tournament has been just the community. Kadir and I, for everybody watching this, we have been able to watch a lot of the games together. We go in the community, we go to bars, we go to sports places, and there you see a lot of just casual fans that are just there for the party, that are there because they enjoy the World Cup, but they don't necessarily know all the players. However, it was very surprising to me how many of them know Haaland, and they're able to say things
Hmm.
specific things about him. Oh, he's so funny. Or did you see the one video where he looks at himself in the mirror and he scares himself? Just a lot of things that they like about him that go beyond just his performances on the field. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah, totally, man. That's what I'm saying. Like he really is an overall very good person, or he at least seems to be. And he's also a phenomenal player on the field. Like whenever the pressure comes, the kid steps up and shows up, man. Like today, I almost put money on that game saying that Norway was going to get rid of Brazil. But the only reason
Mm,
why I didn't do it was because I wanted all the Latin American teams to make it. Like I wanted Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, and Argentina to all make it. But I was like, oh man, Holland is there. And the guy just said, hang on, let me show you how it's done. And then he put him through by himself.
by
Like
himself.
the goals that he scored, it was 100% him. So
Amazing, amazing. And
it's
we
incredible.
haven't even started talking about the game yet.
Yeah.
But one more thing I want to say about Haaland the person before we get into the game is how the one thing that surprises me about him is we are so used to the controversy of the extremes of people love Cristiano Ronaldo or they hate him. They love Messi or they hate him. And there's
Hmm.
always arguments on both sides. Well, he did this and no, he did that. On both sides. You see that all the time. And now you also see it a little bit with Mbappe. People don't like Mbappe because of certain reasons. It's interesting to me, and I'm sure that at some point people are going to find excuses, or maybe Haaland may earn it themselves. But it's interesting to me that we have here a character coming from that world of the Ronaldo, Messi, who is completely different than that. Like there's no controversy around him yet. Let's hope that it stays that way, that he has a beautiful life. And but it's rare to see that in soccer. Just a likable guy, and
Yep.
there's no argument.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's no but he did this. He's an asshole because of that, you know?
I agree. I agree. That's what I'm saying. And I hope you're right. I hope he stays as is and continues to play and just showcase all of the talent that he has so far.
So I'm gonna make a prediction. Okay.
Okay. I'm all
Infantino's
ears.
not stupid. Infantino's not stupid. He knows that this is ending. You need the next phase. I think Infantino, we may see a little some manos negras in the future to help Haaland
Okay.
because he's
Okay.
understanding Haaland is the future, completely the future. There's others, but he's too, like Haaland is really likable. So we may see that in the future. So I'm gonna go back to this video, and if you ever see Mano Negras with Norway, let's go back to this video and say, "Hey, Infantino's becoming a fan. He has to."
Are you saying that we may see Norway Spain final since they're both up and coming, him and Jamal?
Wow, that would be so good for FIFA. Let's be honest. Wouldn't it be
I
great for
know
FIFA? That
that
would be the
listen,
best for FIFA. That'd be
if
dream matchup.
FIFA's pulling some under the table strings, wouldn't that be amazing right now?
Oh, yeah, good call, Kadir. And it's interesting because we're going to go into depth with the Norway Brazil game, and who were us always the party bus, the party people, the people that we enjoy the most that brought the party to the stadium, the carnival, the
Eh,
Brazilians,
It was the Brazilians, but we've been talking about this for the past 3 or 4 episodes in the podcast, man. They're not that anymore.
right? But what I'm saying is, who has taken that spot? The
Oh,
Vikings,
the Vikings? I think are not. I would say the Vikings and the Dutch, both are
really?
like. Oh my God! Have you not seen how the
No.
Dutch sort of carry everything with them when they go anywhere? It's
Hmm.
crazy.
I haven't seen as much news or as much footage of the Dutch as much as I've seen Norway with the rowing
Okay.
thing and everything. They have
Okay.
become more of like the darling because there's two factors here. There's Haaland being great, and there's also the fan base that's
Yeah,
followed Norway, how they have been cute and oh look how lovable they are and all that kind of stuff. They have
I would
I don't
agree.
know, is there another fan base that has been as lovable as Norway? Because you could very much have Haaland be awesome and then another fan base be awesome. For example, we
Right.
love the Japanese, how they brought their trash bags and show the
Yes.
world class. So that was cute. But aside from that, we haven't really seen fan bases
N-
be cute,
No,
right?
I think the Norway fans have a whole aura about them that's very cool because the whole Viking thing, like just saying, here come the Vikings sounds fucking amazing. You know what I mean? It's like, and
Yeah.
then you have, and then you have this like on average, I
Mm.
believe the average height of the team is either 6'2" or 6'3". So you have these giants that are all like super blonde, pale, just lanky giant people who not only are there putting on a good show, but they're fun and they're likable and they have the row. And when you imagine they're just like all together, and you imagine just them ready for battle, like the whole persona that gets created around the fans is amazing. It's fun
Yeah.
to be a part of.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
So it's just a coincidence that probably the most likable player in the World Cup also happens to be in the team of the most likable fan base. So good
maybe,
for FIFA.
maybe.
Good for FIFA. I think so. Aside from because it's easy for you to root for whoever you want to root for if you have your roots in there or if you just like something. But I'm just talking about the normal fan. It's like who do I root for? It's very easy to just look at the Vikings. Go, I like them. They're cool. They seem like
Yeah.
good people. Let's root for them. We want them to go
You know,
further. That's what I'm talking about.
I've never been to Norway, but I
Mm,
would go. I would go. You
absolutely,
know,
absolutely, and I'm
yeah,
sure a lot of
I
people
would
feel
go.
like you too. Like, let's go to Norway
Exactly.
now, even though there might not be a lot of attractions, and you may be
I
disappointed. You might not even see one Viking, but you know,
I I want to go on vacation. I want to go to a football game. I want to go to a bar, and I want to go somewhere where they show me how to row like they're row. That's it.
there you go. Perfect. So let's get into the game.
Let's get into the
What?
game.
Yeah. What were your feelings during the match?
Look, my feelings were Norway has the ball. This is unexpected because to me, Brazil should have had the ball. Brazil should have managed the tempo of the game, the timing of the game, the intensity of the game, and they should have had the ball more than Norway. And that did not happen. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is unexpected. Brazil is going to have to step on the gas at some point, and they just didn't. They just didn't. So I think it was a very well deserved victory for Norway. I do think Brazil needs to, I don't know what they need to do because I thought bringing Ancelotti as a coach was going to sort of revolutionize and clean house and do whatever it took to make them go back to what they were. And he didn't. And they didn't. And they're just this like sort of like lukewarm team that is neither intense nor fun to watch. The players that should have like put the team on their shoulders, like Vini and Endrick and Neymar. I don't know. I don't know, man. They just to me are very lukewarm. It's not exciting to watch Brazil anymore. I'm sorry, Brazilian friends.
I have another theory, my brother. Here it
Talk to
goes.
me.
I think Ancelotti had a strategy for this game. Hear me out. When you asked me about Norway prior to this game, I've
Hmm.
told you they don't have what it takes. Why? I don't know if you remember my reason, but I said because they're sloppy. The
Okay.
strength that Norway has, and the reason they have been able to score so many goals is in the open field. When they have the ball with space. Haaland is a headache and he's fast. So it's hard to keep an eye on him because usually you have two, three people keeping an eye on Haaland. And then you also have to keep an eye on the other ones. I always told you, Oscar Bob, he is amazing. I'm so happy he played the full second half because he's also another kid who thinks he's got a very smart football head.
Hmm.
So a great football brain. So he's able to see certain plays before they develop. He's able to put a lot of through passes. The issue with Norway is that strength happens in the open space. When you don't give them open space, there's nothing they could do. So when I
Hmm.
saw Brazil give the ball to Norway, I thought, I know what Ancelotti is doing. Ancelotti wants to give them the ball because he knows they're not going to do anything without open space. So Brazil is going to wait for the little mistakes, and then they get on open space, and two, three, four passes, then they take care of business. And guess what? That's exactly what happened in the game. Just Brazil couldn't take care of business. First, the
Exactly.
very first play, very first mistake was a penalty. Tell me about
Hmm.
your thoughts of that penalty. What was going through your head when you saw that penalty and before you saw um, him kick it and all that stuff?
Listen, my only thought about the penalty, if I'm being honest, as much as I don't like him, I was like, why isn't Vinny taking this? That was my
Yes,
thought.
exactly.
Yes, I don't like him, but that's a personal preference. He by far, no questions asked, should have been the player taking that shot. I don't know
Absolutely.
why. I don't know why he didn't take it. So what do you think? What do you think happened there?
Well, you said something in the last show that was really really cool. We were talking about the importance of having the big time players take on that moment, whether they fail or not. You go in the
Hmm.
World Cup and you take that penalty. That was every opportunity to Vini Jr., who has had a pretty good World Cup. He has done great up to this point
Yep.
to just state, no, 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 no. This is me. Rafinha's in the bench. Neymar may not play again. Here we go. This is my moment. I am Brazil moving forward. I have no idea why he didn't take that penalty. No idea.
I don't get it. I don't get it either. And I think, it's gonna haunt them both. I think it's gonna haunt Vinny Jr. and I think it's gonna haunt Bruno as well because, one missed and the other one didn't step up to the plate. I don't understand either one.
Well, Bruno as the captain, is Bruno the captain or is Marquinhos the captain? I think Bruno's the
I
captain.
I I I thought it was Marquinhos, but you could be
Okay,
right for
okay,
this game.
all right. But still, Bruno should also know Vini's our star. We need to make him feel good. He should
Sure,
also
but
know
maybe
that,
maybe Vinny was like, no, you do it. You never, we don't
right?
know. We don't know
You
what
know,
happened. Like, look, Brazil was given another penalty at the end of the game when Neymar was on, and he was like, I'll do it, and he took it and he scored.
right?
So, you never know. You never know what Vinny said.
That's true. That's true. And Vini should have done what Neymar did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So going back
yeah.
to what I was explaining, then did you notice every time Brazil had the ball, you saw how messy Norway got and how good opportunities they had. And if it wasn't for the goalie, ah, then Brazil could have scored 1 or 2 goals at least
Dude,
before the Haaland score.
the goalie was a freaking hero today. Like the goalie was, I don't know what he did last night, but he should do that before every single game because he was just blessed today. He was incredible.
He was. He was. He was. So then this is what I'm thinking. If it was a strategy by the Brazilian coach, Ancelotti, I could see where it's coming from, but it didn't pan out.
I think you consider Brazil's performance in the World Cup with being getting eliminated in the round of Sweet 16 a disaster.
A disaster.
So
Not even a failure, a
so
disaster.
a complete disaster. So that tells me that Ancelotti is not going to be there for much longer.
No, why would they keep him? It makes no sense. Why would you
Exactly.
keep him? Makes no sense. But going back to what I was saying is Ancelotti should have known better, or at least made adjustments in the first half, understanding like, wait a minute, we're giving them the ball. This is working. Maybe he thought, hey, they'll make the mistakes on the second half also. We'll give them the ball. But I think he should have learned more from the Japan game. What happened in the
Mm,
Japan game? As soon as Japan scored, Brazil just took over, just suffocated them.
yeah. Yep.
And when you suffocate a team, the best defense is offense. You don't give them the ball. If you give a ball to a team that even if you think it's inferior than yours, you F around and you find out. And
You
that's
find out.
exactly what happened with Norway. Brazil fucked around and they found out. And as soon
Yeah.
as you gave 1 inch to Holland, and then you
You
gave
put it in
another
the net.
inch to Holland, that was it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Listen, I don't, please, maybe you can answer this for me, but I don't understand. Let's go, Erlin.
Let's go.
Uh, I don't understand why you wouldn't give Hendrik more minutes,
Yeah.
knowing the type of dynamic kid that he is.
Mhm.
And was it because Rafinha was still injured? But didn't he? I mean, like, wouldn't you put Rafinha is by far the most influential attacker they have at this point in time, besides Vinny, who was on the field. But why wouldn't you put them both in a lot sooner?
Well, I'll tell you this much. Remember, I'm talking about the technique that I thought, the strategy that I thought Ancelotti was trying to pull, which is to give Norway the ball so they could attack and he knew he didn't want to do anything and take the ball away. Having Martinelli there from the starting moment gave me that idea because Martinelli's so fast and he's such a good breakaway um, counter attack player. So I agree with you 100%. In fact, as soon as Kendrick came on, they had the best chance in the whole game.
And he missed. So,
He
and he
missed.
missed.
He
So,
missed.
he's 18, 19 years old. Like maybe he just wasn't ready for that moment. But, these are the moments that build character. These are the moments
Right.
that build superstars. And either he wasn't up to the task or isn't as great as the media is trying to make it seem.
Yeah, no, no. I think he's great. I think this is just one of the building moments. You also have to
Maybe.
give credit to the goalie. You have to give credit to the goalie.
But on that specific play, it
Mm.
wasn't the goalie. He just completely missed. He just shot the bed.
I think it was a little bit of the goalie too. I think so. So let's talk about the
Maybe.
goals. What were you thinking when Haaland first scored?
I jumped out of my seat. I jumped out of my seat. I literally was like, oh, like it was such a Alan goal. Like
Yeah,
you could see it. You could see him step up in front of the Brazilian defender, and he's just so much bigger than everybody else that you could just see him lift off and just boom. There
yeah,
was no way that Allison could have gotten to that ball.
no.
And it was just incredible. The second goal, I don't know where that came from. I don't even think he was expecting to take that shot. And he just kind of was like, let's just fucking pull up the cannon and see what happens. And then that happened. It was incredible.
I disagree. I think that that's typical Haaland.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting that. That's typical Haaland. Yeah, that's you see goals like that all the time, and that's what makes him so dangerous. You take him for granted. You give him a little bit of space, and you think he can score from him, but he can. He absolutely can. You know
And
what he said after the game, which is really
what did he
cool.
say?
He was talking about Brazil, and he said, "What do you think about?" It? He goes, we never expected to beat Brazil." He's like, "I didn't expect to beat Brazil. Like we had, I never imagined. I imagined me being in the World Cup as a little kid, but I never expected to beat Brazil. He never expected to beat
That
Brazil.
see,
You did it, buddy."
this goes back to what I was saying earlier. He's such a genuine person and he's such a genuine human where he just is like, we are here to put our best foot forward and let's see what happens. That's it.
Yeah. All right, my
It's
brother.
great.
Well, I think it's time to talk about Mexico and England.
Ah,
You're
man,
wearing the green.
I'm wearing the green because I really was behind Los Manitos. I wanted England, as you know, out of this World Cup. I don't think they deserve to be at this stage of the World Cup. I think they're overrated. I really wish that the Azteca and Mexico City and the fans and El Tri would have pulled it off, but they didn't. They didn't.
Is it because does it have anything to do with the fact that they may play Colombia along the way? And you
I
were, or
hope,
you don't care?
I hope, I hope now that they've gotten rid of Mexico, I hope they make it to the semifinals. I hope Colombia makes it to the semifinals because it would be a very overdue, well-deserved revenge from Russia in 2018.
Okay, okay, okay. I see it.
And I think
So,
Colombia's got them.
okay, okay. What were your thoughts about the game? What were you, do you think it was a well-deserved win by England?
Uh, e- at the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, I did think they played better. They scored when they have the chance. I do think the penalty was a penalty. I do think Bellingham's second goal was a lucky goal, but I do think they played better, and I do think Mexico, especially towards the end of the game, lacked ideas. I think that they were trying the same thing over and over and over and over, hoping for a different result, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, so coming into the World Cup, seeing what Mexico had done prior to that, this specific team, I gotta admit, I didn't have that much faith in Mexico. In fact, I've been in the
Hmm.
same show saying that I felt the fans of Mexico deserved more. Mexico has done a great job. Had a great World Cup. I have to say it. And they were having a great game up to the point where England scores the first goal. They
Hmm.
were taking the initiative, they were taking the ball, and man, that's what happens with big teams too. They know how to
Yeah.
take, we were talking about picking their moments and stars like Bellingham picking their moments, just coming in. And it's one of those boxing matches that you have the fighter, in this case, Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez, just boom, 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 just going, just going, just going. And then all of a sudden, there's this big knock that knocks him to this big punch that knocks him to the floor. And then you kind of get distracted. Mexico
Hmm.
got distracted for those 3, 4 minutes after the goal because the second goal came right away. And that's the importance of staying focused in the World Cup, in any big tournament. Just like, okay, you got scored on, let's focus right away. No,
Yeah.
they completely lost it. They regained their focus after the second goal. But by that time, it was so late. 2 goals to England, to Bellingham, so fast. Ah, it was heartbroken, bro. It was a
Yeah.
heartbreak for sure.
Yeah, I thought they had everything. I mean, being at the Azteca, being in Mexico City, having the entire stadium behind them, like uh, the players were playing well. It's hard to analyze because there's a little bit of heart also that get behind it. But I do think at the end of the day, if you put both performances down on paper, England did what they were supposed to do to make it through, and they did.
And also, Mexico had the chances to turn the game around. Because if you think
Mhm.
about it, they went up 3-1, then they went down a man, and then they also gave up a penalty. So, Mexico, if you tell anybody prior to the World Cup, because obviously at that point, I think a lot of fans, even Mexican fans, would agree that A, they didn't expect the team, or at least to be in the same level as England. But if you tell them you're going to be losing just by one goal in El Azteca at home with with a man advantage and just the ball for the next 35 minutes, you'd be like, great, let's make it happen. It's almost the best case scenario for you, the best chance for you to overcome that deficit and be able to tie the game and take it into extra time, specifically because England had shown the cards. They took away all the offensive players and put just defense. And they had no more. If they had gone to extra time, there's no reason for me to believe Mexico has another 30 minutes to just wear
To make
down
it happen.
the England defense and take care of business.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, wouldn't you agree that it never really felt like they had, like they were a man down? It didn't to me.
Well, if to
It didn't.
you,
It didn't to me.
Mexico had such control of the ball the last 20, 25 minutes, such control of the ball that it was just England defending. They didn't cross the half point.
That would have been the same thing had they had 11 players because they were ahead. They were ahead, and they were probably tired. They're playing 7, 1,000 feet above sea level. Like it was one of those things where like there was a moment there where England was going to sit back and defend, whether they had 10 or 11 players. And I think that's what they did. And that's where I mean Mexico didn't have any clearer ideas. They should have tried different tactics, at least for some of the opportunities. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they were trying the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. And England defended the way they were supposed to.
Yeah, I see what you mean. If they had different ideas, more ideas, they would have had more chances. But I did feel like they did have a couple of close calls. I remember Jimenez just hitting the ball that
Mm-hmm.
went right on the side. I remember this beautiful one. The English goalie just saved it. It was such a great save. Still, and then another Colombian goal. Yeah, los goles
I
colombianos
listen, man.
siguen en la copa.
I will say I don't understand. One of my baffling questions was, why do you take Quinones out? Why do you take Quinones out?
You can't. Yeah,
I don't understand. He's the guy that's been either scoring or assisting for you
yeah,
every
yeah,
single
yeah,
step of the way. And the one moment when you fucking need somebody to do some miracle, you take him out. I
yeah,
don't know, bro. I don't know about
yeah.
that choice.
Sometimes the coaches are too much in their head into their game plan, and they have no spirit of the law where they're able to improvise in moments. And
It's
sadly,
crazy.
we know that the a big party ends when Mexico exits the World Cup. So
Yeah,
I'm really
and
bummed
that
about that.
we are down to 2-3 if we count the USA. But I was hoping that America was gonna have more representation. But we are down to the US tomorrow, if we're talking about all of America, and then Argentina and Colombia representing the
The whole
American side of
continent.
things.
Yeah,
I really do hope that we pull through. And when I say we, I mean all three of them, and we make it to at least the next round.
yeah, that'd be great to see. So that is set up. We're going to talk a little bit briefly about the other games. They were not part of the Sweet 16. Those are coming up. But we saw an instant classic, Capo Verde and Argentina.
Oh
Wow.
my God. When you say instant classic, you're not joking. That was
No.
insane in a good way.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. The second goal that Capo Verde scored was so impressive to me.
Goal of the tournament, in my
Yeah.
opinion, so far.
Yes.
Goal of the tournament. I really, honestly do not think you can hit a ball better than that under the circumstances.
Not only that, but did you see how many straight passes they had before that shot? Unbelievable. And also to do it emotionally under the circumstances where they've held
Yeah,
Argentina, the current champion, up to that point. You think wow, Argentina scores. Here you go. But no, coming back and scoring that goal. Oof,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oof. Now,
You
hear
know
me
one
out. Go
one.
ahead. No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, hear me out, because I was very surprised that after that Messi goal, it felt to me like Argentina just kind of gave the ball away to Capo Verde. They should have done better with the ball. They should have kept the ball, but they kind of gave the ball to Capo Verde. Going back to that whole thing of you F around, you find out. That was a
I
little bit of
don't I I don't think Argentina thought that Cabo Verde was going to have such a level, such a high level to where they could put
mm,
that much pressure on them. I think they scored and they were like, okay, now we can sit back and kind of manage the game a little bit easier. And it was
yes,
exactly the opposite. It was exactly the opposite. Like Cabo Verde just went for it. And I don't think Argentina was expecting them to be able to do that in such an organized way.
yeah. No, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
The post game interviews, I don't know if you saw this, but they interviewed Dibu Martinez
Okay.
after the game, and it was an Argentinian reporter, so of course he did it
Yeah.
in Spanish. And one thing I love about the Argentinian reporters, not all of them, but a lot of them, is that they have no filter. And the reporter, he shoves the mic right up in Dibu's mouth. He doesn't say hello. He doesn't say anything. The very first question
Uh,
was, ¿Y el gol que te marcaron?
wow.
El segundo gol que te marcaron, and then
Yeah.
Dibu, without missing a beat, without getting offended, without being like annoyed at it, he was like, "Puta, qué golazo."
Good. Good for him.
So it was
Yeah.
amazing. It was
That's great.
amazing because even he was impressed with it. The
Great.
After the reporter heard that answer, he was like, "Is there anything that you could have done?" And Dibu was like, "Absolutely nothing. Like there was no way that I could have gotten there." So I
Good.
thought that was
Good for
cool.
Devo.
I thought it
Good
was
for Devo.
yeah,
Because Devo
I
gets a
think it
bad
was awesome.
rap for being kind of an a-hole. So I'm good for
Yeah.
Devo that he said that. That's really, really, really cool. Wow,
Yeah,
Capo
that's
Verde,
really
what a
awesome.
sweet, beautiful story. Will Capo Verde be one of those stories we in the future remember us like, oh, remember back then when this little country came? Or is this a building block where they can start to grow their football in their country?
I hope it's that. I hope it's that because now we know where Cabo Verde is. You know,
Yeah.
we know exactly what they stand for. We know that they can bring it if they want to. So I hope they only have, did you know that their entire population is 500,000 people?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Yeah.
So if they really put some effort and a little bit of money behind it, we who knows what's going to happen in
No.
2030.
And they done so great that you got people coming out of nowhere, be like, "Oh no, I got Capo Verde. My great 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 grandpa Capo Verde." Like now, everybody's trying to claim Capo Verde. It's funny, trying to get a piece of it. Now, how
Right.
do you feel about Argentina moving forward?
I mean, I feel great. They were supposed to. They were
Okay,
supposed to. They
they were
did
definitely
what they
supposed to.
yeah, they were supposed to. They now are going to face Egypt. They
Mhm.
both went into overtime. They are both probably working on recovery. We'll see who recovers better. Uh, Listen, at the end of the day, I think Argentina is a stronger team than Egypt. I think they are going to make it past them as well. We'll see.
Absolutely, I think that Argentina shouldn't have any big problems against Egypt, despite having Marmoush and Salah. It reminds me a little bit of the old school Chile team from 1988 where they had Zamorano and Salas.
Mhm.
This is
And
Salah,
Salas.
not Salas. Um, however, you didn't have the level of the other players in Chile. Were not at the level of Zamorano and Salah, so they could only go so far. I feel the same way
Right.
about Egypt. Egypt has Marmoush, has Salah, but the rest of the team is not up to par. So I feel like Argentina should be able to take care of business.
I agree. I think Egypt has made it as far as they are supposed to.
Yeah, perfect. All right, finally, let's go. Let's go to the last one. This is also not part of the Sweet 16, but it was sweet Colombia taking care of business against Ghana.
Dude, what
This
can
is
I
your shot,
say?
bro. This is it. I'll let
It's
you.
it's
This
it's
is your moment. Dale.
it's not necessarily anything out of the ordinary. I think Colombia was a very well organized team that executed the plan that Nestor Lorenzo uh, planned out for them before the game almost to perfection. I don't think you can say anything else. Like they they held Ghana down to how many shots on goal?
Zero.
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 Zero. This is a team that gave the English team a run for their money. The Croatian team a run for their money. They made it very uncomfortable for every team they play who got held down to no shots on goal at all for 90 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And physically speaking, to me, the African team is a
Oh,
much
oof.
stronger team than the
Bro,
Colombian
you
team.
look at them. Man.
It, they're incredibly physically, and I will say that the Colombian players, a lot of them being 5'7" and 145 pounds, didn't back down from the challenges, and it was fine.
No.
So I my hats off to my Colombian team. I really hope they keep planning, programming, and executing the way they have been, because if they continue to do that, once again, I will say it and I will repeat it. I have no doubt that we can beat Switzerland, we can beat Argentina, and we can beat the English or the Norwegian Vikings, no doubt.
You know what's impressed me about Colombia? It's the level of consistency throughout the whole tournament. I can't think of another
Hmm.
team except maybe France who had the same level of consistency. They, I've never seen them weak.
Yeah.
I've seen them control games. Here, when you saw the Ghana Colombia game, you always felt like Colombia was closer to scoring again than Ghana. It was
Hmm.
1-0 was closer to 2-0 than one. Like Colombia's going to score anytime. Towards
Yeah.
the end, would last 10, 15 minutes. Ghana needed to score to stay alive. Nope. Colombia had the ball. Colombia had control.
Yeah.
They were closer to scoring
Yeah.
again. What a way to control the tempo of the game. That's what's impressed me the most. Because any team, any great team will tell you that it's so hard to control possession in all 90 minutes, to control
Hmm.
all the chances and so on. So it's a game of I guess tempo, of circumstances, of situations, but just the way that Colombia knows when to chill, when to attack, and most importantly, they've had the brilliance of certain players who have come through in certain amazing moments. This time, Suarez
Yeah.
coming
Yep.
through, uh, another great heroic type of situation, type of goal. It
Assist.
reminded me of the second goal that Colombia scored. I think it was against Uzbekistan,
Which one?
where the guy was just on the floor and he kept going up. Remember the second goal
Oh,
that Colombia?
El Cucho, the last one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The last one. El Cucho at the end of the game. Yes.
Correct. But it had that same vibe of just heroic. No, I'm not going to give up on the play. I'm not going to give up on the goal. I'm going to do certain things, and then making those moments of brilliance. I have all the faith right now in Colombia. I feel like Colombia can. Man, I don't want to talk crap about the Swiss, but it just really seems like that is. I have so much faith in Colombia that I feel like Colombia can take it against the Swiss pretty easy.
I don't want to say easily, but I will say this about Switzerland. I will say two things about Switzerland that put me at ease. Yeah, one is that they haven't had to play a team that knows how to control the ball like Colombia does. Like they haven't had to have that kind of game yet. So I think they're going to be very surprised when Colombia takes the ball away from them and starts moving it side to side and making those through passes that they know how to make. I don't think the Swiss is ready for that. That's one thing. And then the second thing is I saw a couple of articles where when Colombia made it through, the Switzerland team was like, "Oh my God, Colombia made it through. We got it." So I don't
Mm,
think they're taking Colombia as seriously as they should be, and I think there's an advantage.
yeah. Well, I'm rooting for Colombia, even though Switzerland has my little chilenito. Remember I told you the story?
Sí, sí, sí,
Yeah,
sí, claro.
tenemos un chilenito ahí, que no quiso, but he was so right. I can't blame him. He was so
He
right.
wanted to go to the World Cup, man. He wanted to go to the World Cup.
Such a smart move at the time. I was like, what's he doing? Chile is awesome. They just beat Argentina. They just made Messi retire. Like, nope, I want to play for Switzerland. Good for him. Good for him.
And
All right, brother.
now he's there.
It's another great day. Tomorrow. Oh, can't wait. Tomorrow,
I
guys.
want I want your prediction for the games before we leave. I want your US prediction and your Spain Portugal prediction.
Okay, I think the US is going to beat um Belgium. I think they're going to beat them
Belgium,
2 to
let's
1.
go.
2 to 1.
Okay.
The
Okay.
reason for that is Belgium just has been very sloppy. And I think
Hmm.
the momentum USA will be able to be a factor. And if they learn from the Turkey loss, where they were
Great.
just yeah, we're playing, we got this. No, it's going to be a very hard game for the US. They have to take it seriously. They cannot take Belgium lightly. I feel like they can pull it off 2 to 1. What's your
For sure.
prediction for the
For
US
sure.
Belgium game?
I do think the US wins. I agree exactly with everything you said. I think Belgium has been very sloppy. I think they haven't found their form. I think the US is playing very good football. They're very organized. And my love goes to Pochettino because he is saying some stuff in the locker room that is clicking. So whatever he's saying in the locker room that is clicking for them, continue to say it because it's working. So I think they should take it.
I thought your love for Pochettino was because he sings it, belching out of his chest. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia.
Right?
Country mama, take me home. Have you seen Pochettino go off on that? Take me
I
home.
have I haven't seen him
Oh,
sing, but I do see he has fully embraced the American everything,
yeah,
the American way.
yeah,
So, that counts. That counts for
yeah.
something.
So yeah, that was a nice little music break. And another awesome music break. I love today. So Stereo playing música ligera at the Azteca. Did you hear that?
At the
Talking
stadium. Yes,
at the
yes.
stadium. Yeah, the música ligera. Oh, I'm
It
loving
was
it,
it
bro.
was
I was loving it.
incredible.
Some Soy
Listen,
Stereo in the World Cup.
I have one final question before it's an important question before we go. Do you think we will see Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup game tomorrow?
Have you seen Spain play, bro?
Yes, that's why I'm asking that question.
Spain is so fast. And what's admirable about them is that they defend with two, three guys. The other team gets the ball, and right away, two, three defenders are on them like dogs, taking the ball away. And they take it, and right away, it's like, it's almost like those old school thieves videos that you see where somebody looks at you, hey, hi, and then somebody takes your wallet, and then they place it over there already. And it's like, oh, what happened? Did the person take my wallet? And somebody, it's already been passed. The wallet has been passed by four or five people, and you're done.
Mhm,
You know what I'm talking about? I don't
mhm,
know if it's the
mhm,
most
mhm,
awesome example, but that's
mhm.
how Spain plays. You see the other team, three, four guys coming, take the ball. What? Click, 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 click. They're too fast. They are too fast. They don't have the star power that Portugal has.
Wait, so you're saying we say bye bye to Cristiano tomorrow?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you another reason why. We have never seen a team play as bad as Portugal, consistently bad throughout their tournament and make it far. You have seen champions before. We talked about Argentina losing the first match against Saudi Arabia in the last World Cup, but eventually
Right.
making it far. You have seen that, but you have never seen a team be consistently bad and make it far. It's not going to happen, bro. I love
Yeah.
Portugal. Portugal was my pick coming into the tournament, especially they won the Nations Cup. They were coming from that momentum.
Interesting. Interesting.
What do you think?
I agree with you. I think they're gonna lose. I do think. Do you think we will finally see Jamal have a breakthrough performance where he sort of like puts his foot down and is like, "Hey guys, I'm here to stay. It's time for you to go." Or do you think we're gonna see just kind of like a game from both of them?
I think it's going to be a great game by Spain, but I think it's going to be a game from Yamal because if you watch Spain play, Spain doesn't depend on Yamal.
Which is
Spain
great.
is, like I said, they're just like all thieves. They just, yeah, they have heroes playing in their positions. Um, who's the
Okay.
nine? I
Okay.
can't think of his name.
Oyarzabal has been
So
on point,
underrated.
dude.
So
Oyarzabal
underrated.
has been so underrated. He's
Oh,
been better than everybody else, in my opinion.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So I think this is goodbye. Sadly,
All right.
sadly, I only see it two
So
ways. I don't see a third. I see either Spain just does what they're supposed to do based on what we've seen, and they just beat Portugal convincingly, or Portugal wakes up,
mhm,
wakes up. If for some reason they still manage to barely win, then they're gonna get eliminated in the next round. It's just like I don't see Portugal going far unless they
yeah.
have a brilliant game, and this is the wake up brilliant game. But the problem is, I've been saying that every Portugal game this World Cup. Okay, here is the wake up brilliant game. Here, I'm tired of that. Okay, here is
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
How long are we gonna say that?
I agree with you, man. I agree with you, but I know you're also a Cristiano fan. I know that he's one of the GOATs, so we may just be see the GOAT play one of the GOATs play for the last time tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sad thing to do. Listen, I am not the biggest fan, but I admire him as a player. I admire him as a freaking like machine. I
Mm.
don't want him to stop, but someone's got to lose.
Yeah, I feel you. I wish that that the bracket would have allowed Portugal to go a little further. That's
If
all.
they had done what they were supposed to during the group stage,
I know,
maybe.
I know, I know. But
This
maybe this is
so
the game where they wake up. Ah.
that's
Yeah,
that's
maybe
on
this
them.
is.
That's on them.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you gave them too many You gave them too many chances. They didn't take advantage of them. I think it's time for them to go home. That will
yeah.
give us an excellent quarterfinal.
I
So
know,
I'm excited.
guys. This is an important game going on right now, an important time. So you guys will see us tomorrow. But let us know in the comments if you think this is the game when Portugal's gonna wake up. Or all right,
I'm gonna go with that.
all right, bro.
All right,
We'll see you
everybody.
guys next time. Peace out.